Christmas came early for the misinformation fake news media when they got a hold of former President Donald Trump's tax returns. Finally! And I'll bet you can't wait to see how they responded when their prayers were finally answered. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we are the antidote to the daily onslaught of radical woke Marxist propaganda. The fake news media loves to expose rich Republicans' wealth in an effort to make it appear that the Republican has lost touch with the middle-class voters. They never do this to Democrats, even though there have been more Democrat millionaires in Congress than Republican millionaires for decades. And the Democrats over the last 10 years at least have demonstrated that they have lost touch with everybody in the middle class and working class families. For about 7 years, or 2/3 of a decade, the media has led the American people on a trip to make President Donald Trump's tax returns public, using words like bigger than Watergate. Every fake news story that came out against the man was considered the beginning of the end, or a turning point for Trump's doom. Here, listen to this.
Donald Trump's done. He's done.
Done.
There's no question about that. He's done.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Today is a turning point. Today was historically bad for President Trump.
Today was a turning point.
A turning point.
We're at a turning point here.
The beginning of the end for the Trump presidency.
It just goes on and on. So, thousands of hours of media political commentary about the golden goose of gotchas that would lead to a disastrous outcome for the former president. But let's be honest. The amount of paper used to fill columns of bombshell promises could have filled a forest, highlighting how the supervillain of all things evil would be crushed by the exposing of the criminality in Trump's tax returns. They said this time their pronouncements to the world will be second only to the existence of a benevolent being. The results of the pursuit of Trump's tax returns, they promised, would be in line with an episode of Leonard Nimoy's In Search Of. You older people will get that. A terrible person, it was said, will burst into flames of humiliation. Experts in Washington, D.C. who make their living analyzing tax returns, financial schemes, the bulls, the bears, and people from Connecticut, the people who study cryptic regulations were on the verge of exposing Trump. Their bloodlust for Trump's tax returns was an addiction worse than crack, they said. They couldn't help themselves. They could taste it every time that little red light went on over the studio cameras. Yes, it was the Gandalfian magicians, heroes proclaimed by the Praetorian Guard media, who would get admission to the center of the one actual financial enlightenment that would forever sink Trump and break the entire empire beneath him. Like a Sith, they said soon, and they held their breath. Time passed. Ladies clutched their pearls. The men straightened their hair pieces. Their liberal audiences started chanting, "Any second now, any second now." They knew it was coming. Transport by bus and train was halted. In order to see the show, several people gathered at their homes. Flights were being canceled as the deadline drew closer. Everybody had to see this. The economy ground to a halt as reports of adrenaline tingling up people's legs spread like wildfire. They smiled as they thought about it. They did. One of the most studied people in human history was on the point of annihilation. It's high time now. This was the moment they'd all been waiting for all those years. They could see it through the misty haze. Several boxes were spotted, making their way through the Capitol's corridors, many people eager to catch a glimpse. Withered in hushed exultation, those are the boxes. Those are documents in the boxes. It took years of anticipation, but MSNBC finally started the countdown clock when a visibly climaxing Rachel Maddow could no longer contain the spontaneous euphoria. Even that butt-wipe YouTuber Christos something or other, who suffers from Trump derangement syndrome level 7, which is the highest known recorded level of the dreaded mental disease, was drooling over the hot pocket his mom made him. And then, oh my God, I can feel it in my bones. It was a giant nothing burger. That's right. It was a giant nothing burger. The modern universe's greatest hyped financial disclosure failed miserably. It doesn't matter that normal thinking people knew this would happen. Through the entire 7-year journey of their quest, these activists who call themselves journalists, they knew they were right. The Coca-Cola company, incidentally, gave everyone a week off for finally getting new Coke off the top of the biggest failures list. In the end, Donald Trump's tax returns look like those of any other private business owner, with a regular schedule of earnings and losses that fits neatly within the confines of any other private company's owner's returns. Earnings that rose and fell with the fortunes and declines of the U.S. economy. Even worse for the witch hunters, the documents show that Trump's decision to abandon his business interests in favor of a political career to make America great again led to a precipitous decline in his income. That's right, because Trump, unlike Joe Biden, did not sell the influence of his office to any individual, corporate, or multinational interest in exchange for monetary gain. He is the first U.S. president to incur a financial loss as a result of his rise to power. President Donald J. Trump served the American people by carrying out the will of the people through the policies that he implemented. What a bunch of sappy media clowns who will pay no price for wasting so much money, so much effort, and so many hours of the lives of their viewers over their fight to see tax returns that are as dull as their news broadcasts. Don't forget to check out the videos at the end here, because I think you're going to like them. I'm going to put the link to this story down in the description. So that's it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you in the next one. Merry Christmas.